Sister Wives, Janelle Brown doesn't care what God thinks. Has Sister Wives star Janelle Brown turned away from her religion? Before meeting Cody Brown, Janelle was a practicing member of the LDS Church. She left the church to become a member of the AUB and joined Cody's family as his second wife. But now that she and Cody are no longer together, is Janelle still religious? After viewing new episodes this season, some Sister Wives fans wonder if her faith ever mattered much to her at all. Sister Wives fans debate Janelle Brown's commitment to the church. After leaving Cody, Mary decided to seek an official release from the church. Cristin adamantly declared she didn't need a release, while Janelle was more on the fence. As far as fans know, Janelle still hasn't asked the church for a release from her spiritual marriage. However, she hasn't completely ruled it out either. But at this point, does she even care what the church has to say? Janelle doesn't care what God thinks, a social media user shared online this week. Season 19, Episode 20. When Cristin and Janelle are driving to NC and discussing Janelle getting a release, Cristin asks Janelle if she had talked to God, and what did he say? Janelle said no because she didn't care what he thought. The OP went on to ponder how committed Janelle Brown truly is to her religion. They concluded their thoughts by stating they love Janelle, but they didn't understand her thought process. Where does she stand with her faith? Viewers think the TLC star is faithful when it suits her overall. Other social media users had varying opinions. Some thought Janelle was still deeply entrenched in her faith, even if she was no longer a practicing member of the AUB. I've heard it more like she didn't need their former church's approval since they were no longer with that church. I thought it sounded more like the church can't tell me what to do versus how it matters to God. Maybe I wasn't listening well enough. I'm not sure she understands her position either. In the past, she claimed faith as the reason she did not formally divorce Cody. She claimed that she would live polygamy again due to her faith. I think much of what they all say is really just performative and not at all their truth. Janelle was only interested in Cody. If it took religion to get him, so be it. I think Janelle was a cafeteria-style polygamist. She picked and chose what she wanted and left the other stuff behind. No faith required, just what meets my needs in the moment. Just like Cody. Janelle Brown sat at her kitchen table, the late afternoon sunlight filtering through the window, casting warm golden hues over her cup of tea. She stirred absent-mindedly, her thoughts swirling faster than the liquid in her mug. For years she had lived under the weight of expectations, what Cody wanted, what the other wives needed, what their faith demanded. Every decision she had made had been calculated, weighed against a belief system that had dictated her life since she was a young woman. But now, after everything, after losing Garrison, after walking away from Cody, after watching Cristin find joy in a new love, Janelle felt something she had never allowed herself to fully embrace before: freedom. And with that freedom came a startling realization. She didn't care what God thought. Not anymore. It wasn't that she didn't believe. She had spent her whole life trying to walk the righteous path, believing in celestial unions and eternal families. But what had faith gotten her? A husband who abandoned her emotional needs. A church that prioritized men and control over love and happiness. A life that felt more like a series of sacrifices rather than a journey of fulfillment. No, she was done worrying about the consequences of living life on her own terms. Her phone buzzed, pulling her from her thoughts. It was Cristin. "Hey, you doing okay?" Cristin's voice was warm, filled with that happiness Janelle both envied and adored. Janelle sighed, running a hand through her hair. "I don't know, Cristin. Do you ever feel like you wasted all that time worrying about what we were supposed to be doing instead of just living?" Wasted all that time worrying about what we were supposed to be doing instead of just living. Cristin was quiet for a moment before she said, "Every single day." Janelle let out a laugh, though there was little humor in it. "I spent decades being told what God wanted for me, what the principle meant, how I was supposed to endure for some greater reward. But look where that got me." Cristin hummed in agreement. "It got you here. It got you to the point where you can say you're done with that mindset. That's not a bad thing, Janelle." Janelle nodded, even though Cristin couldn't see her. Maybe it wasn't a bad thing. Maybe she wasn't turning her back on her faith, but instead redefining what faith even meant to her. "Have you told Cody how you feel?" Cristin asked cautiously. Janelle scoffed. "You think he'd care? He's too busy making sure Robin still believes in him like he's some kind of divine messenger." Cristin chuckled. Well, you're not wrong. Janelle sighed again. I don't even know who I am outside of all this. Outside of being his wife, or, I guess, his former wife. I'm trying to figure it out. You will, Cristin said confidently. You're already doing it. After they hung up, Janelle sat in the silence of her home, feeling the weight of the moment. The thing about faith, at least the kind she was raised with, was that it demanded unwavering loyalty. But what had loyalty ever done for her? What had blind faith ever given her, except pain and disappointment? She was tired of looking for signs from above, tired of waiting for some spiritual revelation that would tell her she was doing the right thing. The truth was, she didn't need divine approval. She needed her own, and for the first time in her life, she realized she had it. She wasn't going to spend another second worrying about what God, or Cody, thought about her choices. If there was a higher power, he could judge her later. Right now, she was finally ready to live.